Welcome to Tesla Club India's 15th episode of the podcast. Today with us, we have two guests. One is Rahul from Green Drive India, who drives the Nexon, and we have Chetan from the Space Road, who also drives the Nexon. We will talk to them about their experiences driving the electric vehicle and things around that. So, without any further ado, please welcome Chetan and Rahul.
Yeah, hi Priyans. How are you?
Hi. Welcome to the podcast. With us,
Thanks
we
for
also have Garvit, who's co-hosting the podcast with me. So why don't we start with some basic introductions? So Rahul, why don't you tell us what do you do and since when have you been driving the Nexon, and then we can come to Chetan.
okay. So, by profession, I am a IT engineer, and I have been driving my Nexon since November 2020. So, this is my first and only vehicle, only four wheeler I have. Okay, so I am in Delhi from like 2007. I am living in Delhi, and by looking on Delhi pollution, I did not had any courage to bring one more vehicle in Delhi. So that's why I delayed my purchase, and I always wanted when I see Tesla launched an electric car and I saw its features. So I always wanted a Tesla, but Tesla due to some reason could not come to India, and then Tata launched this EV in Jan 2020, I think. So at that time I saw its range, its features. Then I decided let's not wait for the Tesla any further, and I purchased due to the like its budget, its range, everything it comes into the package. So that's why I decided to purchase it, and in November 2020 it was finalized, and from there I purchased it, and side by side I opened a YouTube channel to spread the awareness about electric vehicles that at the time of at current time it is not that much hard to run an EV like Nexon, because in day to day life hardly anybody is I can say 99% of people travel less than 50-60 kilometer a day, and Nexon gives us a range of like 200 kilometer with AC and everything on with comfort. So like in current situation we can have such a vehicle, we can like drive and keep on running, and that's why my whole YouTube channel dedicated to like for the myths, any myth you have for the electric vehicle like battery, how motor works, how where are the fast chargers, everything is covered in my channel on details. So if anyone want to see, you can visit Green Drive India in YouTube, and you can see what offerings it is providing. So that's my short introduction.
Thank you so much. We will drill into some of these details later in the podcast. But
Yeah.
Chetan, can you introduce yourself and just tell us what city are you from, what do you do, and what car are you driving?
Yeah, so it's great to be here on Tesla Club India podcast. My name is Chetan. As of now, I'm driving Tata Nexon EV Max. I got the vehicle in September of 2022, so it's been only 5 months. I've completed 10,000 kilometers on it and enjoying it so far. I am from the state of Maharashtra. I live in Pune, and yeah, I worked in multiple corporate jobs before, but right now I do freelance writing work for some clients, and I also have a social media creator account by the name of the Space Road, which is available on all different platforms, where I create written and video content about EVs, among other things.
Great.
Thank you, thank you so much, Chetan. As we heard Rahul mention what were his reasons to buy an electric and buy Nexon. I mean, in 2020, I'm sure we did not have many options in the EV market. But Chetan, what were your reasons to go electric, buy an Nexon, and I mean in 2022? So,
Yeah, so as Rahul said, like Nexon is his first vehicle. The same is true for me also. My vehicle is also my first four-wheeler vehicle that I have purchased. I always wanted to buy a car, but like I was waiting for a compelling EV to come to a market and then probably purchase it. Um, and Yeah, 2020, back in 2020, we did not have enough options, but 2022, we had a couple of other options as well. For me to choose Nexon, I think I took test drive of Tigor EV as well. I took test drive of MG ZS EV as well, and then of course Nexon. Among the three, I think Tigor was offering little less range and some limited features. That's why I wanted to, opt for a higher battery, higher range vehicle. And then MG ZS and Nexon were the other two options. Um, I think the driving experience is more or less same for ZS and Nexon, like whatever I could figure out in a test drive. And then it came down to the cost mainly for me. Um, MG was like couple of lakhs more than Nexon, and then I thought I am getting almost same features or like similar driving experience in a Nexon, and it's an Indian company doing good, taking the initiative of bringing electric vehicles to our country, unlike any other manufacturers. So these are the thoughts that went into making the purchase decision, and yeah, I'm happy with it so far.
Wow. Okay. So thank you so much for that information. And just a couple of points, right? You were comparing the MG. So I drive an MG, and you were comparing the MG with the Nexon. And MG like with a couple of more lakhs, you were getting at least 20% more range in the car. So wasn't that a compelling factor, or did you not have enough highway driving, or uh, just trying to understand that perspective?
Yeah, I think that factor did not make much of a difference for me. Like I within city I travel not more than 100 kilometers in a day, so I think that was sufficient. And yeah, outside city drives usually are longer for me. Like my hometown is about 500-600 kilometers from Pune, so I do travel there frequently. There an MG would have made a difference, but then again I thought it is not worth the cost that I am paying, like at least at that moment. Suddenly I can think of it going forward, but I think at that point of time, Nexon
Correct.
max range made more sense for me. Yeah.
Also, if I'm correct, the top variant is a lot more expensive for the ZS as compared to their Excite variant, which MG's launched both of them, but MG has not delivered on their Excite variants yet, and it's been more than almost it's been almost a year since they had launched the Excite variant and the exclusive variant, but they've been just delivering the exclusive.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Like when I went to talk to them, they said that these are the two variants. I thought like maybe I can go for an Excite, which was priced at 22-23 lakhs, and Nexon Max is like 20 lakhs plus. So it was not much as compared to the exclusive variant, which runs up to 27-28. But yeah, it was not available even till September. They initially said it will be available by June or July, but
Correct.
that did not happen.
This
So
is a
yeah, it was disappointing.
This is a question for both of you. When both of you were buying your car, you had one more option in the market, and that is the Hyundai Kona. Did you guys look at it? What did you feel about it first, Chetan, and then Rahul?
Yeah, I actually like did not look at Kona. I don't know why I did not even consider it. Maybe because of the videos that I had watched on YouTube. I don't think I thought it did not catch up, even though the vehicle was out there in the market right from 2020, I believe. Um, I don't know. I think it did not catch up. Not enough customers using it, or the perception of it was not up to the mark, maybe. So I did not even consider Kona. I considered MG and Tata vehicles.
For me, if I talk about myself, Kona has double the price of Nexon Prime. When I purchased it, I had only one option in my budget. My budget was limited to around 15-16 lakh, so I did not wanted to stretch my budget because my highway running is almost next to nothing. So
Correct.
like Kona did not made any sense for me, and that much budget I don't have.
No, makes sense. Makes sense. Totally. Uh, so, Rahul, you mentioned that
Otherwise,
you.
it's a good offering, but
Yeah.
right now 40 kilowatt battery is in max, right? And Kona also has 40 kilowatt. But
39. Yeah, yeah,
only plus point with Kona is that it is highly efficient at high speeds, unlike Nexon.
yeah. Or
So
even the
that
MC.
is the only deciding factor. If anyone wants that much efficiency and highway driving, then he can go for Kona. So that's not a bad vehicle. It's just like a little on costlier side.
Correct. Totally makes sense. And Rahul, you mentioned that you've covered almost 25,000 kilometers
Yes, yes, yes.
on your
Right now
Nexon.
I am at 27.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what has been your experience like? Do you drive usually or in the city in Delhi, or are you also driving on highways? Do you do road trips? Can you
Yeah,
explain?
uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Actually, my highway driving, as I said earlier, is like next to nothing. But as everybody knows that driving an EV is a pleasure to have. So that's why I like search for the chances to go away. So what happened? Like one of few of my friends are in Agra and Chandigarh. So whenever they went there, I also went there. That I am coming to meet you. Just to meet them, I went to Agra. I went to Chandigarh. So Chandigarh is like 280 kilometers from my home. So
correct.
what I did, like there is a charger of a static in the midway.
Yeah,
So it's like only 50% more charges was needed. So it's like a short, you can say breakfast break we took, and then even we could not complete our breakfast in like solidarity. So what happened? Like breakfast is finished, charging is also finished at the same time. Let's run. So it was a nice highway driving with my even Prime. Only catch is if Prime could have like 7 kilowatt charging support, then that would have made much sense.
overnight charge. Yeah,
Yeah, but anyway, like it's fine. It is slow, but kind of it works for like 300 kilometer. Up to 300
correct.
kilometer, Prime is fine.
Correct. Just jump in.
So we recently got update about the Prime version in Nexon,
Yeah,
and this has been pushed to older users via software update.
definitely.
Although
I
they
am
have
the
been,
older one.
yeah, although they have been called to the service center for the software update, which seems
Mhm.
like somewhat, uh, of older generation. But
Mhm.
do you like the Prime update?
Yes, yes, pretty much needed. Actually, in highways around NCR, I would say these highways are pretty much boring. If you if you can turn on the cruise, you can continue with cruise like 40-50 kilometer without any breaks. So when I travel around like Agra and Chandigarh, I have did not get chance to go around Jaipur. But if you go to Agra or Chandigarh, you will have a lot of a stretch where you don't want to put a stress on your legs. So just because of the cruise control, I don't use region much, but cruise control is a must feature. So that's why I like the Prime update. So that was like from the since of beginning, whenever there was a call with Tata Motors, I always shouted that we need cruise control. Forget about any other thing, we need cruise. So finally, Tata decided to give the cruise. Like I was the one of the happiest person. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this it was a positive move by Tata to extend that update to Prime users, and that too at like zero cost. I think it was a
Yes.
very
Yes.
positive move.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean still feels like they are on old technology because they are asking you to come down to the dealership or the service station to get that update fix. We might see over there updates as well in the future, but I think mainly it is restricted as of now because of some security concerns, or like they want to make sure that nothing goes wrong in updating or like processing those
Yes.
updates. So
Yes. Yes. That we can manage. Like if some updates comes once in a while, like in a year, like one or two updates, going to service center is
that's
fine.
Correct. Speaking of service centers, right? You have covered 25,000 and 10,000 kilometers.
Yes.
So what has been your experience? So say we can start with Chetan and then we'll come to Rahul.
yeah, I think service center experience was okay-ish, I would say, like maybe not delightful, I don't know. um it, I have completed two services. The first one was like just they checked everything if it is in order. I think they said they have some 42 different checkpoints to go through to just see if everything is in order and if there is some issue in any particular um, component. So first servicing was pretty much that, just checking everything if everything is fine or not, and then just washing the car, and that's it. Second service also like similar checkpoints, and then they changed something called as transaxle or transmission oil,
Oil.
which like what I believe is needed for changing the driving modes from neutral to drive to reverse. um,
What was your total
Maybe,
cost of the service?
yeah, I think that was 1800 rupees the second time. The first one was nothing. The second time it was 1800. Yeah, so overall experience was fine. I think, yeah, maybe like I should say this, but I don't know how important it is. But like Tata service stations are again like combined with their existing ICE vehicle service stations. So limited staff to address to EV customers, and then again only 1 or 2% would be there who knows like what's
Understand
happening.
the tech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I think they connect laptops to check everything, and again that is at the service station I visited, they only had like one laptop to do that, and multiple electric vehicles were like waiting to go through that process. So maybe some improvement needed on that side, like more trained staff or like more equipment, or maybe even a different service station
Dedicated
dedicated to it to, yeah,
dedicated service
EVs.
centers make more
Yes,
sense,
yes.
because
Yeah.
see, like electric vehicle is mostly software driven, and
Hmm.
you get updates, and the staff needs to be extremely aware of what the updates are, how does the electric vehicle work. If the staff is not aware,
Hmm.
if the staff cannot give that kind of confidence to the consumer, then the consumer, and for the consumer also, this is a very new product, right? So it is important that someone, if someone, if not the community, if they're not come to the community, then someone at the service center, at the dealership, should be able to give them that confidence. Uh,
Hmm.
Continuing that thread, Rahul, how was your experience with the service center and the dealership in Delhi?
So luckily, the dealership and service center I have nearby is quite good. I don't have any much issue other than sometimes they forget that it's a EV. They keep on like mentioning a checklist for the ICE
ICE
counterpart.
vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the only slightly, you can say, uh, discomfort I had. Otherwise, the service center I have is fine. Like not much great, but I am pretty much fine with it. But at the same time, I also understand that many of the other people don't have that much good experience at their Tata service center. So definitely Tata needs to do something about this service center, especially for EVs, especially because now Tata is the number one in the EV segment. So they should segregate EV service centers apart from our regular ICE counterparts, and there should have some expert guys there should have, so that if any problems is specific to EV, one should reach that particular service center and get it diagnosed quickly.
Correct. I think that role currently is being fulfilled by
Community.
community and
Yes,
community
yes,
leaders for
De-
Tata.
yes, yes,
For
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. So another quick question on your driving, right? So this is to both of you. Like, what is your daily run? Like, I am assuming that you do not use any other ICE vehicle, and you are just using the EV. Is that correct?
We
Yeah.
both don't have any other vehicle,
Oh,
so we
perfect.
can't
Yeah.
use.
Yeah. So, what is your daily, like? How many kilometers do you drive on a daily basis? Is it
I
like
don't have.
home?
I actually I don't go to office. So
Okay,
right now it is next to zero. Only it's like
un-
leisure activities. That's
understood,
why my
understood.
27,000 is there. I have not went to office till now since I have purchased my vehicle. Like for doing office works, I have gone to office
Correct.
for some other works, but not to do office work.
Understood, understood.
So
And
it's
this,
like totally leisure activities. Whole
Yeah,
of my.
probably Yeah, probably similar for me as well. Like I work from home. I don't travel for office every day. But maybe on a weekly basis, like there are days when I'm not taking out the vehicle, but
Mm.
maybe on a weekly basis, I would be doing anywhere between 300 to 500 kilometers.
Oh,
Maybe
nice.
weekend drives of like 100, 200, 300 kilometers, or like some days city driving of 50, 60 kilometers or 100 kilometers. So that's how it is. And then outstation drives, I would say like maybe once in a month, which are like more than 500 kilometers.
Correct. Speaking of outstation, uh, yeah, I'll come to my point. Garvit?
Uh, to add to the transsexual oil, Chetan, it is not like that you have multiple gears in an EV for neutral or the drive. It is actually the gear between the motor and the wheel. Now, in order to protect those gear from rusting or other natural effects, a fluid is being introduced in order to protect, for protection. So that's it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that timely information, Garvit. Uh, so continuing the train of thought, right? So, Chetan, you had mentioned that you do like I had read on your Substack that you had done a
Hmm.
road trip from Pune to your hometown. So, would you like to speak a bit about that experience and then, yeah.
Yeah, certainly. So it was so like now I have done like uh, same route couple of times, but maybe I will talk about more when I did it for the first time. This was back in November of 2022. So the total distance from Pune to my hometown is like 560 kilometers, and there were only like there are multiple charges. Like halfway through, there are multiple charges from Pune to Aurangabad, which is like about 250 300 kilometers. So you have like multiple chargers in between. Like every 80 kilometer, you will find good chargers. Tata, Charge Zone, EV Pump, even others. And then from Aurangabad to my hometown, which is like 350 kilometers, there are no charges. Like there were no charges back then. Now there are. So yeah, so it was like both exciting and like slightly anxiety full drive. It was okay till Aurangabad. Like I charged two times, and then at Aurangabad I did my vehicle 100%. I had to wait like long time, about 2 hours, because it was a 30 kilowatt charger, and as Nexon cannot take more than 30 kilowatt. But yeah, so I charged my vehicle 100% at Aurangabad, and then I had a drive of 350 kilometers to do from that point onwards. And we were like three people in the vehicle, and this was my first time like taking the risk and doing this. So we turned off the AC, and we started our journey, and the entire time we moved on cruise at 60. At the speed of 60 kilometers per hour, just to like gain maximum out of the battery. And Yeah, so pretty much that it was night time by then, so temperature was down. I think that was like helpful in gaining more range. And like for 7 to 8 kilometer, we stopped at a place where it was my destination was only 7 kilometers away, and my battery was at 3%. 3%, yeah, 3%, and it was like 1:30 in the night or in the morning, if you will. So we were not sure like if we should continue it or not, and what happens if the vehicle stops in between. I tried calling Tata roadside assistant. They said that we will tow your car to the nearest charger, and things like that. But somehow we offloaded some luggage at that location. I called some of my friends. We offloaded some luggage, and then continued the journey from there. And I reached at my location, at my destination, at 2% battery at 2 o'clock in the night, um, full of like the entire drive was full of anxiety, but finally it was a relief to reach at home, and the vehicle was not stranded in between. So that was my like first time experience of doing a long distance trip and taking that plunge. So my vehicle did 346 kilometers on a 100% charge, with AC off, driving at cruise 60 kilometer per hour, maybe 95% of the time. So That is the maximum range I have drawn out of it
So,
till date.
Chetan, was there any
Yeah.
elevation in the midway?
There would have been.
Uh, yeah, like
Because at
you know,
60, I think it should give around 360, 370 kilometer of range. It should give.
yeah, we were three people, as I said, right? And there was
No, no,
some luggage
people.
also.
Okay, luggage was huge. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
So, Chetan, one follow-up question to that, right? You mentioned that you've done this trip multiple times. So,
yeah.
like now, since November 2022, do you see any improvements on that route? Do you still have to have that kind of same anxiety that you reach your home with like 2% charge, 3% charge, or has it become better now?
No, like suddenly better now because there are two more chargers that have been installed by this company called EV Pump.
You
So
pump,
they
yeah,
are, yeah, so they are covering this route of Maharashtra, like maybe like west of Maharashtra to north of Maharashtra. They are covering the entire thing,
correct,
and they are installing chargers 60 kilowatt and 20 kilowatt. So they are installing 60 ones at like bigger cities like Aurangabad, and then they are installing smaller ones for top up in between. So yeah, so next time I did the trip, I had no trouble. I stopped for like top ups and reached home comfortably with AC on and luggage and everything. So now that
That-
anxiety is gone. Yeah.
that's perfect. I mean, given that the
On
infrastructure is improving,
Yeah, on that
Yeah.
point, I would like to
yeah,
suggest a few things for the EV owners. So what we can do now, whenever we go to any road trip and we like stay on any kind of dhaba around like 20-30 minutes for a quick snack or breakfast or lunch, we should like suggest those guys to put at least 15 amp plug outside their dhabas. Usually they have a okay type of parking space. It's not like they don't have the parking space or they don't have the capability to provide at least 15 ampere plug. So what we can do, suppose if we travel any longer, at least we stay for half hour for any kind of snacks. So even with Max or Nexon, even half hour charge if can provide like 3% 4% battery, and that 3-4% can reduce anxiety around 15-20% of anxiety it will take away, right? So
correct.
we owners should like tell them that this is the coming opportunity to you guys, and you should be ready to provide like at least 15 amperes so that Tiago EV, Nexon EV, Tigor EV can take the benefit.
Definitely, and I would strongly recommend all EV owners to please share their public charging experience on both PlugShare and on Twitter. You can tag EXPV or Tesla Club India on Twitter, and we'll amplify your experiences. Uh, Speaking of highway driving, right, and city driving, Rahul, you mentioned that you go on highways to like I mean you go to Agra or Chandigarh
Yeah.
most of the times. So I'm assuming significant amount of driving has been in your city, right, in Delhi.
Yes, yes,
And I'm assuming most of your charging was also at home, or
yes.
did you have to use a public charging infrastructure in Delhi?
In Delhi, I just taste them, not use them. You can say like for the tasting purposes
Nice.
that whether it's my car is working time to time or not. That's what. Otherwise, only on highways. I just recently did a trip to Haryana interiors,
Oh, nice.
just in the last week.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so that time I used fast charger, and I have done review on my channel for those fast chargers as well. So that way I use fast chargers only.
Definitely, we should link that video in the description. Um, All right. So, how do you think? I mean, so I had one other question, right? Uh,
Mhm.
Basically, I wanted to understand is that have you seen any differences in the range of the car that is being provided, especially Rahul, right? You have used the car over 2 years. So, do you
Okay.
see different range that you see in, say, summer driving, winter driving, or in city driving versus highway driving?
Definitely, definitely. So uh, city driving, highway driving, summer driving, winter driving, it all makes a huge lot of difference. So depending on the condition, it takes a toll on battery or efficiency. So what new users do, they don't factor in the speed versus consumption graph, you can say. So in our Nexon, mostly it is what is the speed. It matters a lot for the energy consumption. So I have my speed graphs and its stats. So I would tell quickly. So around if you drive around 45 kmph, even Nexon Prime can go 340 kilometer without AC. I mean to say, okay. At 55 kmph, Nexon EV Prime will go 300 kilometer. At 60 kmph, it will go around 270, like that. And at 70 kmph, it will reduce to 240 250. At 80 kmph, it will go 220 kilometers, but with AC. So any range, if you hear from anybody with around 250 plus, that means the person has not turned on AC or used pretty less frequently. With AC, if we talk about Nexon EV Prime, the range is only around 200 220. If you drive around 100 kmph, the range reduces drastically to around 150 kilometer. And someone if driving like at 120 kmph, then the range would be 120 kilometer only.
Correct, obviously.
Yeah. So, and if I talk about summer, the AC consumption is around 4 to 6% per hour that you have to cater in. So even
Wow.
if you drive slowly, that won't help you much. Suppose if some person is driving at 50 kmph, but with AC, so that is not going to help. The overall range would still be like 240 to 30 kilometer only. So if you have to go with AC, then consider range at max 230 240 kilometer in summers. In winters, what happens? Your AC temperature and your internal temperature remains around same. So usually AC compressor doesn't run much. So in winters you can have good range. So that is the only benefit. Else in the pretty cold weather, we need to take care that when you go to fast chargers, it will charge slowly. That you also have to consider a point.
Oh,
So
that.
Nexon doesn't provide preconditioning. So this is the feature I am now shouting to Tata to provide to next generation of vehicles. Plus, if possible, for the older vehicles. Suppose we are going to a fast charger and we are driving in a like cold situation like 3 degree, 4 degree, or 6 degrees Celsius. So Nexon has a like cold getting issue for the fast chargers. So this Tata should take care of this as well.
What is the speed at which the car charges in the cold weather?
If it is cold around 8 degrees Celsius or around 10 degrees Celsius, you can say it will charge around half of the rate. So Nexon Prime takes 21 kilowatt in 1 hour. Otherwise, in cold weather, it will take around 10 to 11 kilowatt. So that you need to take care.
Chetan, have you observed this in your vehicle too? In winter driving? Because in interior parts of
Pune is not
Maharashtra, it
that cold, I
gets.
think.
But interior parts of Maharashtra, it does get cold. Not obviously not 3 4 degrees, but sub 10 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, not to the extent that Rahul has experienced it, definitely. Again, like I have been using it only for 5 months. Yeah, so I don't have much to add here. Maybe what I feel is like if I drive on highways, if you go beyond 80 kilometers per hour, I think the range starts dropping significantly. That is my
Yes.
observation. And like if you keep it between 50 or 60, you will like get maximum range. And city driving, because of region, usually it is the range is usually good in city
What is the
driving.
range? What are the range numbers that you get typically?
Yeah, I think 300 is what I get in city driving when I'm driving on city mode. And region is usually at level 1 in city modes. I think 300 is the range. And then on highways, I like to drive with eco to get more efficiency. And then again, I don't restrict myself to only 50, 60 or 70 kilometers. I go like 80, 100, and in that case the range drops to 250 or so. And again, if the vehicle is loaded and then there are like 4 people in the vehicle, it would like even come down to 230 or maybe less.
So
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 typical.
that's my
Yeah, so
yeah,
typically, I'm
good.
assuming you guys get around 130 watt hour per kilometer as your as a
140,
typical efficient
140, 140 for highways. if I
140
am
for
not
highways and 130.
right, Chetan.
So
Yeah, I think 150 plus for me on highways, and between 135 to 140, 145 in city.
Yeah.
all right.
So on highway driving, like I have done significant amount of highway driving. So I would suggest everyone to try a sports mode on highways only with cruise, but a sports. Do cruise, but in a
Okay.
sports mode. That will give you another level of comfort in highway driving. Just try it sometime. It won't reduce your range. I have proofs on my channel. I have done 340 kilometers in a sports mode. Though I have did it manual cruise at 45 kmph. That was like embarrassing, but I had to cover the whole from Kanpur to Agra. I had to cover. So one time I had to cover 300 kilometer and there was no charger in between. So what I did, I cruised around 45 kmph and at 50%, my car was driven around 170 kilometer in 50% at 45 kmph in a sports mode only. From the start to a stop, I did only a sports mode. So sports mode doesn't make a difference unless you accelerate. You are
Correct.
guys get my point. In eco
Correct.
mode, in drive mode, in city mode, or in a sports mode, if you are driving at a constant speed, it doesn't matter what drive mode you are in. So I drive in the sports mode due to the comfort. Suppose if anything you want to like
You always have that option to
yes,
accelerate when you want to.
yes, accelerate to take over someone.
Do you also see a difference in the cooling loads? I mean, in my MG, what happens is that if I'm cooling on the eco and if I'm cooling on
Hmm.
sports mode, there is a drastic difference in cooling. But do you guys see similar experiences in Nexon, or is it
In
the same?
in prime, I don't see any difference. I think it is difference is in max somewhere. Max user can tell. I don't see any difference.
Yeah, I think I have like not noticed any difference. My AC is usually like not very. My fan speed is usually one or two most of the time. I don't go beyond that. Only if the weather outside is very hot and the vehicle has been, out there below the sun. Then only in those cases I increase the fan speed. Or otherwise, it's on one or two, 18 degrees or 20 degrees, and within 5-10 minutes, I think the cooling kicks in. I haven't noticed any significant difference there in
Yeah.
different modes.
Apart from cooling, from my experience, if anyone wants to like get maximum efficiency from the AC unit, and if they don't want to spend much of the battery consumption, what they can do, they can try econ on. In Nexon, there is economy button. You can press the icon on and keep the temperature difference minimum from the outside ambient temperature. Suppose outside is 28, then you can try having like 24, 25, whatever is like comfortable for the person sitting behind the wheels. That you can do. So the temperature difference makes a whole lot of difference. So try to minimize and get yourself a particular comfort zone if you want to like have a longer vehicle consumption.
So, speaking about efficiency, we have a
Yeah.
new software update for the Max variants. They have kind of bumped the official certified range from 437 kilometers to 453 kilometers. So,
Yeah.
Chetan, have you got the update?
No, I have not got the update yet. Well, because I'm not in Pune, like for the past 20 days or so. But I'll be there in first week of March, and then probably I will visit the service station and get that update. I don't know how much of a difference it will make. Like, do we have any sort of understanding, like what can be the possible reason for increase in range? Like what they could have changed?
So more or less, I believe it's just a power delivery calibration or throttle calibration. Now, as we have mentioned
Okay.
something about cooling, so now instead of cabin cooling, now we shall talk about battery cooling. So
Okay.
Rahul, in Delhi summers, have you faced any temperature error issue or something like that?
Yeah. Only one time I have faced this temperature error, and that goes away once you keep the cooling on for that like 10 minutes. Then it goes away. Like it did not stop me to run the vehicle. It was saying HV battery high temperature something. Then I ran the AC at like 4 or 5 fan speed and did the minimum AC temperature for 5 minutes. Then it was after 5 minutes it was fine.
Yeah, so I think liquid cooling surely works. But do you was this error before the Prime update or after the Prime update?
Before Prime update.
Most probably in 2021.
Uh, yes, definitely, because I purchased in November 2020, so it was on 2021.
Uh,
Summers.
s- Speaking of errors, Chetan, have you
Mhm.
faced any errors?
No, I have not. It's been like only one thing which I faced is like my the infotainment screen went blue for two. There were two instances when my infotainment screen went blue, and I like sort of shut down the vehicle and then started it again after a couple of minutes, and it went away. So I do not know like why that happened. I did not actually investigate also, but only twice it happened in the maybe initial 2 months, and then after that it has not happened. And otherwise, like I have not faced any issue with battery heating or cooling or things like that. Yeah.
So speaking of errors, once more, is the D2N issue finally resolved, Rahul? Can you throw some light?
Yes, I won't say it is resolved 100%, but because what happens, like when we talk to Tata about this, they said it's like a fail-safe mechanism. Whether the car detects that something is failing and some sensors are not working properly, so then it goes to N. So it may be a momentarily. I have faced one time I was traveling back from Agra. So what happened? I charged my car in rain and then drove around 100 kmph. So what happened? D2N came around 3 times in a single journey. But after that, it did not came, and it there was no like fixes for it. Like I went to service center only to get the logs, but they could not get any significant log. So I have been saying like they did not fix anything from the software end, and that was August 2021. Okay, so it's been like 2 years, 1.5 years. Till now, I have not faced any D2N, and another D2N issues mostly are fixed. Now I am part of community, and we are getting less and less D2N reports as of now. So we can say it's like fixed for 95% for the people. It's almost fixed. If someone is getting D2N at this point of time, maybe they have some battery or motor issues.
Now jumping from problems to comfort, how's your driving experience as compared to any other ICE vehicle? Chetan, would you like to?
Yes. Totally different experience when you drive an electric vehicle as compared to an ICE vehicle. Two things mainly, because as I mentioned it on my blogs as well, the silence of being in the vehicle, and even the silence felt by people outside the vehicle when vehicle crosses other people, that is one of the key like feature. And then another is, since there is no engine, there are no vibrations, and thus there is no fatigue if you do like long distance travels in an electric vehicles. So this 500-600 kilometer drives that I do, usually these are like one day drives without like overnight stop. And when I used to do these same drives in my ICE vehicle before, I almost every time I used to need a one day just to like rest and recover from that journey. But that is no longer the case if you are doing those type of drives using an electric vehicle, because there is no fatigue as there are no vibrations. I think this does not get talked enough, and it should be talked enough, and can be one of the main thing for people to switch to electric. Apart from cost being the key factor, apart from being like helpful to the environment, pushing this sustainable energy future and everything else, but just that the experience and the comfort that you get driving an electric is worth it. And then I think the zippy drives that are generated by an electric vehicle, you just push the accelerator pedal and your vehicle takes off. It is very um, you feel very much in control whether you are in traffic, city traffic, or whether you are on a highway, and if you want to overtake somebody, you feel very much in control and you can maneuver your vehicle however you want. So again, this is not possible in an ICE vehicle. I will say not possible because, like, yeah, some very powerful engine vehicles can do that, but a normal normal ICE vehicle which is used by most people, it is not possible. So this is something that only EVs offer. So yeah, so totally different experience driving an EV. Silence, no vibrations, zippy drives, and more control, whether in city traffic or on highways.
I totally agree with Chetan. I have done 1,000 kilometer to and fro from my native place from Delhi. So it was like 1,000 kilometer one way and then 1,000 kilometer I came back. And literally there was no fatigue when I reached. After completing that 1,000 kilometer journey, there was literally zero fatigue apart from my legs, which hurt due to manual cruise. That's why I always opted for cruise control. Apart from that, there was no fatigue at all. So yes, as Chetan said, we don't talk enough about that comfort. In our EVs, like due to no vibrations, we don't get that much fatigue. So yes, that
That
is
is
the
a
point.
very important point that is brought out by both of you, because uh, even I have driven quite a bit, and I can drive like for 2 days continuously, and still I do not feel that kind of tiredness, or
Yes,
that feel of rest that I need. It's not there. I mean, there's some exhaustion, yes, definitely, but it is not
at that
when,
level.
yeah, not at that level. Correct.
Yes. And apart
So
from that, I
yeah.
don't have any ice reference because this is my first vehicle.
Correct. And we should definitely mention that you in this Delhi heat, you are sitting in your car with your AC on and recording this. And if I had not
Yes.
mentioned this, none of us would have known this, because there is no noise that is coming out from your car. Right? So
Yes, yes,
that is the benefit of owning an electric vehicle. Uh,
yes.
yeah. So Chetan,
And
couple,
one
yeah.
before going forward, I just wanted to quickly add on top of this added benefit. So what I when I went to my remote place where there was some light, like light is not that much 24-hour provided by the state electricity board. So in that portion, I have this 12 volt to inverter, which converts 12 volt to 200 watt power supply, from where I can charge my laptop and sit on my car and do office work
Oh,
without
nice.
any noise and pollution. So that's one of the beauty of EV.
It becomes your office. Wow.
Yes, it becomes your literally office without any
Oh,
pollution.
perfect. Perfect, man. Chetan, I had a couple of questions for you. Uh, have you
Sure.
like one of the big big missing feature that is not present in my MG, and I'm very salty about it, is the ventilated seats, right? That
Yeah.
the Nexon variant has. So, have you tried using it? What is your use? What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a like comfort feature, definitely. I have used it on multiple occasions, especially during when the sun is like being very harsh out there. I think it comes in very handy. Um, um, Maybe like, yeah, there are like different fan modes that you can do on ventilated seats, and I think the basic speed one is usually like enough for you to have that comfort and feel cool sitting in your seats. Um, and yeah, I haven't used it like extensively and tested like what is the impact of it on my battery or on my range, so to say, but I'm assuming that it does consume some amount of I'm assuming it will have some amount of effect on your range. So maybe if you have a long distance to cover and if you don't know where you are going to charge, then like
It
probably
is
you
not
can
perfect.
avoid
Yeah.
using it.
But
Yeah,
in a
but
city drives,
otherwise I
yeah,
yeah, it's a like in city drive, it's like sitting in a lounge, so to say, because you are getting cooled from your back and where you are sitting, and then again the cabin is cool. So it's a comfort feature, very useful in city drives, especially during summer days. I think Delhi people would like really appreciate it, and
Yes, yes.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
so another question, right? when you're fast charging your car, uh, what do you do when you're fast charging your car? Typically, Rahul and then Chetan.
So I usually drive with my family. I have two kids.
Mm.
So at the time we finish having snacks for my both kids and us couple, then the car gets ready to go.
Correct.
So we hardly waste any time. Otherwise, with kids, no time is
Yeah.
enough.
Correct. And Chetan.
So we usually sit around any restaurant. That's all.
Mm.
I think usually like eating or going to the washroom, restroom, and then sometimes when you have already done everything, then you just sit in your car, you turn on the AC, listen to some music. I do like take some meetings from my car. I connect my laptop when I'm like charging and waiting for my vehicle to get charged. So yeah, mostly it's having snacks or going to restrooms or otherwise just like
That's
sitting inside the
exactly the
car.
point that I was coming at, right? When you are charging.
Yeah.
So I have seen this happen with the Nexon, right? When the Nexon was charging, and I switched on the AC because I wanted to check out the ventilated seats in the car, and all of a sudden the charging stopped. And
Mm.
does that has that happened with you, or is it a common? Is it a feature, or is it a bug in Nexon vehicles? What is it? If you have experiences, that is.
Yeah, like personally, I think I have not experienced it. Like when my vehicle is charging and if I turned it on, like the charging stays on. But otherwise, there has been like some challenges in order to start your charging when like you plug in the vehicle, and I think this happens most of the time with Tata chargers, that you like plug in the vehicle and then you try to start charging and then it doesn't start due to some or the other error, and then you have to like unplug the charger and then move your vehicle, start your vehicle, move a bit, and then like come back and do the thing again, and then it starts charging. So those issues have been there, like some connectivity issues, mainly on Tata chargers, but sometimes on other chargers as well. But no, like once it starts charging, it like stays charged, and you can
Yes,
like
I
use the
I
vehicle.
I want to provide some information here. So
Thank you.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, what happens when you are charging and you need to have this cooling on, so you need not to press the brakes and then turn on the car. So what will happen?
It gets into
Yeah,
ready
so
mode.
yeah, so it will go into ignition mode when you press that like brake and then start the vehicle. So in order to run only the AC while doing the fast charge or slow charge, you can press the start button once, it will go to SSH mode. Twice it will go to the your not ready mode, but it will connect your AC charge unit with the heavy battery unit while doing on the charge itself. So just try to avoid the pressing of brakes while uh, your only sole purpose is to run AC while charging. Okay, so if you want to run AC without charging, then you have to press the brakes and then start the vehicle. Okay, but if it is charging, then you not need to press the brake, and then this way you will avoid that kind of disconnection issues.
I totally understand and I get it that this is a solution for the current vehicles. But going forward, I'm assuming that this thing can be solved easily by software, right? You see
Yeah,
whether
yeah,
the charging, yeah. So
definitely.
maybe the OEMs need to start working on that to make the user experience a lot
Yeah,
better.
yeah. The
Uh,
issue you are saying
yeah,
is not that much frequent, but yes, it is there for some of the cars for some period. But yes, that can be avoided as well. Knowing the exact procedure how to start AC while running the car.
correct.
Yeah,
Um,
it's in the manual, by the way.
acha. I was just checking out someone else's Nexon,
Okay, okay.
which was a new car. So anyway, I have one more question to ask you guys. What role do you think has the community played um, in your journey as an EV owner and a user? Right. So, speaking with the recent, why don't we start with the history, right? So, Rahul, you must have been one of the, you are one of the earliest adopters of the vehicle, as well as you've been pretty active in the community. So, why don't you start with your experience and then we can come to Chetan?
Yeah, so right now, due to the community, I am pretty much confident going anywhere in the India. The community is so large and so helpful that at this point of time I can just shut my eyes and keep traveling anywhere in any direction. And whenever if I need any help, I can just put my questions, my queries in the community, and somebody would be there to help. And this happened. I needed my community support myself. I needed community support around June 2021. So what happened? This farmer bill protest was going on. I had to come from Haryana, some remote places, and I had to cover around 250 kilometer in the hot weather. So what happened around Delhi border due to that protest? My car battery went around 9%, 10%, and there was no sight of relief when this jam will be reduced or removed. So my car keep on draining the battery due to the heavy sun. So what I posted my query that I am running low on the battery. My live location is this. Can you guys help? So believe me or not, I got help around in the area of 2 kilometer around. So I am
Wow.
pretty much thankful to the community, and I can assure the new users, new owners that wherever you are, just be a part of community. We are there for you. People are there for you. We are pretty much helpful. Community is there for Nexon or any EV. So that's why I am hugely confident on my community.
Correct. I mean, that's what our purpose is, right? As Tesla
Yeah.
Club India, as like community groups that we run on Telegram, on Twitter, so that people can reach out to us, people, and there are like we have a group of EV owners that is ready to help. Chetan, you
Yes.
have any experiences interacting with the community or taking their help?
Yeah, I think my decision of buying an EV was like heavily influenced by the community that we have, because I was consuming so much content. On YouTube, on different forums like Plug in India, Tesla Club India, then like interacting with Nikhil and like understanding what is happening in Indian EV ecosystem, and then a lot of other people on Twitter. Um, I think yeah. So the decision of buying an EV was like heavily influenced by the community, and otherwise. The Nexon EV Owners Club is a like huge community. I think more than 2,000 people at this point of time. And then you like whatever question you have in your mind, if you throw it there, you will get an answer like usually within a few minutes or few hours. So in that sense, community is playing a very critical role in helping existing EV owners or like bringing more people to buy EVs, and then again on the side of like working with manufacturers and charge point operators, providing them feedback with how things are rolling out and like what needs to be done or not. I think one of the feedbacks that I want to share here is that in first generation Nexon, whenever a vehicle is on regen, the tail lamp did not used to the
Light up.
tail lamps were light up. Yeah, so that feedback was given by the community to Tata, and then they implemented it in Nexon Max, and then through Prime update in previous Nexons as well. So
Yes.
which is
Yes.
like very critical, very critical a component of overall driving an electric vehicle. So things like that, I think community is playing a very important role in educating people about electric vehicles, bringing more people to try EVs, and then parallelly working with manufacturers and charge point operators to enhance the ecosystem as a whole.
Yes. Prime update can be 100% contributed to the community.
That's the power of community, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
what is your opinion on the two cheap electric cars that are coming in the market? One Tiago EV that is already launched, and then you have Citroen EV, which is also rumored to be around the similar price point. So, what are your thoughts on it? And will you be taking a test drive if you want this?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's very good. Uh, Yeah, I think it's a good initiative by manufacturers that they are coming up with smaller electric vehicles. I think that will drive adoption and awareness of EVs tremendously. Like unlike any high cost vehicles that are coming like an Ionic or um, other BYD products. I think as compared to them, the impact these smaller vehicles will have will be much larger in terms of people understanding EVs and adopting EVs. And Yeah, that's my opinion. Maybe I will take a test drive of Tiago sometime in the future, but right now enjoying my Nexon.
Yeah, the more choices, the better.
Definitely. And
Yeah,
our
so
market,
the Tiago EV was necessary to bring as soon as possible because there are some people who are on the fences, like due to some budget constraint they want EV, but due to like Nexon are starting from 15 lakh, they are like fences, like if it can be around 10 lakh, it can be around 11, and then many people are there who purchase it. So you can see that particular kind of notion in the booking of Tiago EV. Tiago EV got booked in like more than 10,000 in one day, and Nexon EV took around 2 years to get to reach I think 10k sales. So that is the like beauty of having a cheaper vehicle. So yeah, so after some point of time, like down the line 6 months, we will see many Tiago EVs on the road, and it will bring many changes. It will bring confidence to the CPO that we can now provide more charging stations around the cities on the highway, so that their charging cost can be covered up pretty quickly.
that
So
is a
it will be
perfect
beneficial for all of us.
That's the perfect segue to my next question, wherein charge point operators are doing what they can, right? But they also need to hear from the users as to what
Yes, yes.
sort of improvements are needed from our end, right? What do consumers expect CPOs to do? What they have been doing right, what needs improvement, and what they are doing absolutely wrong, right? So if you have any thoughts on this, please let the CPOs know because they are listening to this.
Okay. Chetan, you go ahead first.
Okay, so yeah, first of all, I want to say that like CPOs are doing a good job, probably a great job, in making the charging infrastructure available and extending it as much as possible. It's a hard job, like we have to understand this. People who
Definitely.
actually like use electric vehicles understand that it's a hard job, and that's why they appreciate the effort that CPOs are putting in. But like some things which I want to mention, which are like potential improvements that they can do is I think increasing the uptime and efficiency of an charging point is like very important. If you, because you already have the infrastructure there, you have everything set up. It has to be up 100% of the time. It should not be the case that it is unoperational due to some or the other issues. Some common issues that I have faced is like there is no power availability at the charger, or there are issues with connecting the vehicle and the charger. The connection gets dropped multiple times, and then there are some issues with the application, that the application is not loading fast enough, or the payment is not happening. um, Payment is failing multiple times. So these are all issues which like probably require less effort than setting up a new charger. So I think these are the points that CPOs should focus on: increase the efficiency, make sure that the uptime is 100%, and this alone will like take it this alone will like I don't know, like will improve the experience of EV users like dramatically, because you will be anxiety free. You will be knowing that if I go there, the charger will be available 100%. Available in the sense it will be working 100%. And then like once they are through with this, then on certain locations where the traffic is more, I think CPOs must have data about it, like which are their chargers are like at capacity most of the time. They should like think about increasing the number of outlets at those locations so that new users do not have to wait. Like I had to move away from certain chargers because whatever points were available were being used by some other people, and the wait time was more than half an hour or 1 hour. So increase the efficiency of your existing chargers, fix like maximize uptime, and then maybe like increase the number of outputs at certain locations.
That's a lengthy work list for the
Yeah.
CPOs, and
Yeah, I know. Like, maybe I sound like entitled, but
it's
No.
yeah,
no,
That's
that's
fine.
no,
just my
It's
feedback.
for betterment for everyone. And top of your points, I will start on a positive note. So whatever CPOs are doing, I really want to thank them. This is not a like easy job to put any
definitely,
infrastructure in India due to like bureaucratic hurdles. We all know that if you want to start any kind of business in India, it's pretty hard. It's not
yeah.
that easy, not that much straightforward. So big thanks to any kind of CPO. If you are listening to my voices, even if you have one charger or thousand chargers, a big thanks from me. And on top of like I want to convey a message to whoever is manufacturing these chargers. I want to have a card reader inbuilt in those chargers instead of RFID. That is a good point to have RFID in the chargers, but they should have some card swipe kind of feature there, so that any guy who is not pretty much app friendly, suppose any elderly people who knows how to swipe the card but don't know how to use any kind of app, so for those people they should have some card card swipe feature or tap to charge something. At this point of time, RBI allows 5,000 rupees from a like tap to pay, right? So even we need usually 500, 600, or 700 kind of rupees charging. So that kind of uh, feedback I want to give. This I think it's not a small ask, but still they can
But
work
definitely
towards this.
manageable. If
Yes,
the
yes,
OEMs and the CPOs work together, they
yes.
can definitely uh,
And it will be
go
beneficial for us. It will remove the hurdle that you need any kind of app and the data leakage kind of thing.
correct.
Yeah.
So
So,
this has been a very interesting conversation, and we come to our last segment, wherein Garvit will be asking you a couple of rapid fire questions, and you
Okay.
have to give answers to it, whatever comes first in your mind. Right? There's no thinking involved. Immediately, whatever comes to your mind, and both
Okay.
of you have to answer together. Right? So over to you, Garvit.
so now it's a rapid fire round. You'll both have to answer one by one.
Okay.
So let's start with the first one. Upcoming cars, obviously EV cars, they are looking for.
I'm looking with
Tesla.
MG4.
I mean, brand is fine, but I want to have some specific car.
MG4.
MG4. Oh, okay. Chetan, you?
I don't know, Tesla Model 3, or like, I don't have anything else.
Tesla
Oh,
Model 2.
good to know. Good to know. So now, currently, which is your most favorite car? Currently, which is available?
Nexon EV Max.
Nice.
Yes, that's right.
Currently, the best CPU.
In my experience, Charge Zone.
Yeah, Argo here. They have ABB chargers, which are
Your
reliable.
two-wheeler electric vehicle choice.
Aether.
Ultraviolet.
Nice. So here we end our quick questions. Now over to you, Priyans.
Thank you so much. And the links that I mean the topics that we have discussed and the links that we have discussed, we will put that in the description below. We will also be putting out the social media handles for Chetan and Rahul that you can go and follow, along with social media handles for myself and Tesla Club India. Outside of that, I would just like to mention that Tesla Club India is a group that is run by EV enthusiasts. It is run by the people. It is run to help and share the EV community. So yeah, I mean, we appreciate all electric vehicles and the discussions here in this community. All right, this is it. Thank you so much. Catch you on the next episode.
Thanks, Priyansh. Thanks, Garvit.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.
It was
Thanks.
great interacting
It
with
was
you.
an.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.